And welcome to KSMO and our Intercounty Tuesday. Heather has graciously made her way across I'll say not the pond. You don't have to go across the pond. Across the long and winding road.
Yeah, that's
That could be a song.
it probably is.
It is. It already is. But it could be a better song. Maybe if we did it.
I don't know. Maybe,
No, maybe
if
it
you
won't be
did
a better
it.
song.
Maybe not if I do it.
Anyway, nonetheless, glad to have you
Yeah,
here.
thank you.
And your Thanksgiving?
Very good.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very
lots of
good.
turkey.
You need too much, I'm sure.
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 Nobody did, right?
Nobody does. The kids had plenty to eat and got the
Oh,
chance
yeah.
to visit, and
Yeah.
that's good. That's
Yeah.
what Thanksgiving's about. Friends, family, get together,
Kind of slow
have a nice
down.
feast, but just kick back a little bit.
Yep. Lots of stops, but that's okay. That's a blessing.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, we're glad that you made it. It's our last time this year that we're going to talk.
I know. Isn't that
How
that's
fast
just
did this year go?
crazy?
Yeah, crazy quick.
We're almost halfway through December.
Well, here we are. We're going to be talking about December, and we're going to give you kind of maybe a little bit of a delayed Christmas gift, but it's sure going to be a nice one.
I know.
Well, you
I-
go ahead and
yeah.
tell them. I know
So-
you're dying to do it.
So it's capital credit time. That's
Woo!
always a good announcement to get to make. Each year, our board takes a look at the finances of the co-op and kind of where we're at and what we have extra, if you will, that we can retire and pay back to our members. So last board meeting, they retired $3.5 million in capital credits, which
That's nice.
is a substantial amount of money.
Right.
Those checks, I've been told, will be mailed out mid to late December. So I'm not sure we're approaching mid December in my mind.
Right.
But a lot of that, I mean, there's a lot of things that go into play for this. And then, of course, you've got
Sure.
the postal system too. So,
So you might get a mid-holiday somewhere between
Hopefully.
Christmas and New Year's
yeah,
gift in the mail.
absolutely. So,
And that doesn't usually happen,
It
getting gifts in the mail.
no, bills maybe.
Yeah, a lot of those.
But these capital credits reflect usage from primarily 2005 and 2006. There is a very small portion of credits from 2001 that will be coming from our power provider, and there was a short time years and years ago where they
They had
essentially
credits.
they essentially gave us IOUs, paper IOUs, and
Right.
said, hey, we know that we owe you some capital credits.
Right.
But right now we're reinvesting it, and so we'll get it to you when we can get it to you. And the co-op decided at that time we would wait to pay it out until we received it.
Sure.
And so there is a small amount from 2001. So it's possible if you had service with us then, but you left before 0506, you might have a check too. But the bulk of that's from 2005, 2006. So if you had service with us then, even if you no longer have service with us now, those are still your capital credits. Those.
Here comes the list.
Oh gosh, every year. Yeah. So
Here comes Santa Claus, but here comes the list.
we're gonna mail out those capital credit checks mid to late December. There will be a huge amount that come back. We actually, the members that showed up on the list that Stan's talking about, if you recall, normally around annual meeting time, there's an insert in your magazine that just has column after column and page after page of names and
In fine
amounts.
print as well.
Yeah, to get it all to fit in
Yeah.
there. But these are members, prior members that had service with us that are owed capital credits that we don't know where they live now. And so we publish that list. If there's someone that is supposed to get a check this year, but they were on the list last year and they never did get a hold of us to update the address, we don't actually mail that out to the address that we know is bad. We still do keep that in the office. We're hanging on to it, and we'll hang on to it for
Yeah,
2
well,
years.
Postage is too high to do that stuff.
Well, and then will it get back?
Yeah.
Will it get lost in transit? There's not actually that person at that address.
Or will it get to that address and somebody try and forge it?
Yeah, that's a possibility, unfortunately, too. So we will have some that stay in the office if we know that the address is bad because it was bad last year. But
And that's when we ask a favor of all current
Yeah.
members. Would you, if you do know any of these people that had intercounty service, maybe 20 years ago, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, but you're not quite sure when they moved. They might have, we lose track of time.
We do.
I don't care who you are. You might say, oh, that only happened 2 years ago. That happened 15 years ago. Like, oh my gosh, it was that long ago?
Yeah.
You just don't realize it.
Yeah.
They've moved away. And if they have passed, there's a way to get that money back to you as well.
There is.
So Heather's going to go over that. But please, if you do, go take that look at that list. And I really recommend you do it online because you can blow it up and
You
really
can
see
zoom
the
in.
names.
Yeah.
Because
And-
it is hard to read.
It is, and it is still online. So if you go to our website, ieca.coop, excuse me, you can view that list. Every year, unfortunately, we publish a list of, hey, these are checks we've had for 2 years. We're trying to get it to people, but we need to know your address. And I think for the most part, people are usually pretty good the first time they move. They're an intercounty member.
Right.
Hey, I'm moving to town.
Right.
When they disconnect their service, it's very common to say, here's my forwarding address. The problem arises when they move again. And, to notify your
Sure.
2 utility providers ago your new address, I can see how people can forget to do that. But
Wow.
as long as we have your address, we will mail you your check, even if you have not had service with us
Sure.
for a long time.
And here's the thing, and I unfortunately we all know when if it's older people and they get later on and maybe they pass, the kids may not know to contact Intercounty, so let them know that they have passed, and that this would not be going to them anymore. It would be going to the trust or to their estate or
Right.
to their survivors.
Yeah.
However, that's going to be divided up.
Yeah.
So there is an easy way to get that done if you are survivors of somebody who had intercounty service back in 2005.
Yeah.
Hard to say 2005.
2005.
2005, 2006. Please contact Intercounty.
Yeah.
Or listen to what Heather's telling you and then contact Intercounty because
Yeah.
then you'll know exactly what to ask for.
Yeah. Well, and the people who take care of capital credits in the office, that's what they do.
They do it all the time.
So if you call in and say anything regarding capital credits, they're going to know who to get you to. There's a one-page affidavit that we do ask that you fill out if you're a surviving family member. So maybe your parents had service in 05 and 06. They're no longer here. We want to make sure that money still goes to family. Intercounty's not just going to keep that. We want to get it to the surviving family, whether there's a trust or not. And that sheet, it's just a signature from that family member that says, yes, mom and dad have passed. This is the address they used to live at. This is my name. This is my relationship to them. And this is my address where you can mail the check. And there's times, there's one child that it goes to. We have cases where there's three kids and they want it split 3 ways. We can do that too. We've had members who've called in and said, hey, mom and dad have both passed, but there's 8 of us.
Yeah.
And instead of splitting it 8 ways, just donate it to Roundup.
That's the best thing.
And so then when capital credit checks are printed, that amount goes to the foundation instead. And so that's an option also.
Right. And you don't have to have 8 kids to send it to Roundup. You can
do that.
You can offer to do
Yeah.
that anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen that a few times too when there's been businesses and they've closed and they're no longer a business, but now all of a sudden
You're getting a check.
you're getting a check. How do I handle this? What do I do with it? And, they've been able to donate that then to Operation Roundup as well. So there's some options, but the main point I want to make is this is your portion of the excess margins from that year. We keep track of that every year, what your portion was. And it's different for everybody because we use different amounts
Sure.
of electricity. We want to get that to you. As I mentioned, if you're no longer here, we want to get it to your surviving family members. But we will mail it wherever you
Yeah.
are. We will send it to you. We just have to know what your address
It's
is.
just hard. It's just hard to imagine that 20 years later you're going to be getting a check.
Right. And we've had some questions, especially from our newer members who they didn't have service in 2005 or
No.
2006, but they've been a member for 10
Right.
years. It's like, well, where's my check? I
Be
understand.
patient.
Yeah. And the best way I can explain that, if you think about back in 1936 when the co-op was first established, for a couple of decades, quite literally, the co-op was growing so much that they needed to reinvest the profits to expand and to
Keep
grow.
putting up poles and lines.
Right.
Yes.
They couldn't, it was December. Actually, it was December 12th. We're nearing.
Ooh, almost anniversary time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
So
Are we having a party?
that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Did you guys bring that up? Maybe.
Yeah.
I know it's close to Christmas, but
Right.
be a great thing.
Next year's our 90th.
Well, you have appreciation days. You could have happy birthday intercounty.
Birthday celebration. Yeah, I think it's a fantastic idea.
Or maybe anniversary might be a better
It's our birthday.
I know, but
Anniversary.
it's an anniversary of the creation.
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
anyway.
well, good
the
idea, though.
The end of.
Put it on the back burner, Heather.
Okay, yeah, noted. The end of 1936. So you can imagine nothing yet happened at the end of 1936. But you think about that next year, you're building a few miles of line, and every year after that, you've got to continue to add new areas, to build out to new farms. There wasn't. There wasn't money to pay back out. They needed it. They needed to reinvest it in the growth of the co-op, expand the lines to get it to where we are today. So they couldn't start paying that out year one. They needed it.
Well, no.
And-
they couldn't do it on year 10 either. They're still growing.
Yeah, still growing. And as you might imagine, as time went on and technology got better and there was more interest, right? In the beginning, not everybody wanted electric. They didn't have it. And what do I need it for? And I'm doing just fine. And then as more and more farms got it and homes were lit up, then interest grew and it took a lot longer to build a span of line back then than it does
Right.
today. Just the technology, setting poles by hand versus having a digger derrick truck and a crew to be able to.
I'm not sure they
do
had
that.
too many digger derrick trucks at that time.
No, I'm saying now.
Now I know,
versus
but
now.
back then, they didn't really have them.
No.
And I know a lot of what I remember reading about intercounty and also with the phone companies, they were kind of working in the rural areas, kind of in conjunction, where they put a pole up for the phone line, and intercounty could rent it for very, very little, or intercounty would put a pole up, and the phone company would rent it from them, and it became like a wash
Right.
because they were working together. Which I thought, gosh, that would never happen today.
Well, we still have.
No, I meant to start out like
Oh.
that in the 30s, where they're working together to get something done
Yeah.
because everybody wants so much money. Like these phone companies are so greedy,
Yeah.
I just can't
Make
see
it
them
work.
see them working in conjunction with a co-op who's not greedy
To try to.
to try and work together
Get
to get
services.
service to these people who don't have anything, no phone, no electric. Obviously, it's a very difficult situation, especially because Dane County grows really good rocks.
Yeah. Much of our service territory grows really good rocks.
Really good rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, going back to what you're saying, though, all that money being reinvested has helped Intercounty grow. And it's not like they don't reinvest it now. They're continuing to improve their services. The cost of trucks, the cost of wire, the cost of underground cable and conduit, the cost of transformer boxes. None of that stuff has gone down over time.
Right. And the need is still there. And upgrades to equipment and upgrades to metering technology. There's a constant need to maintain and upgrade the system. And our members, one of our cooperative principles is members' economic participation. They participate in the success of their co-op. Their bill, when they pay their bill, the money is used for the co-op. We're not an investor-owned. That doesn't go back to stockholders.
Not a profit center, no.
It's not a profit center. That money is used to make those investments like we're talking about maintaining the system and upgrading the system and making sure that power is reliable. And if we can do that with the revenue that's coming in from member bill payments, then we're not having to borrow money, which comes at a cost because you've got interest, even if it's low. So our members contribute to that. And so 20 years does seem like a long time to wait to get your first check. But when you kind of understand why it
The
initially
philosophy
started that
behind
way,
it, sure.
hopefully it
sense.
starts to make sense. And when you have been a member for 20 years and you start getting that check, boy.
Well, I mean, you think about it, Heather. We had obviously not so bad here, but in the last few years, I think the derecho of 2009 was really our last major big one that really took out a whole bunch. But we've had tornadoes come through.
We have.
We've had ice storms that have come through. You know, when you have stuff like that, obviously the cost, people don't see that extra cost coming where
Right.
these guys have to go out in unbelievably bad weather, a soft ground,
Yeah.
get up on climb poles to get to them because they can't get a truck into them, and then have to change that stuff out. I tip my cap to those guys. They
Absolutely.
earn my respect every time I see a storm come up and I hear outage. Nope, they've got my respect.
Yeah.
I never say a bad word about them. They're out there doing things that I wouldn't even fathom doing. But getting back to the point, all that stuff, all that replacement of wire, all that
There's a
replacement of
cost.
poles, there's a cost to it, and a lot bigger cost. I think we talked back in the summer about replacement vehicles. It takes, 2 years?
2 years
To get
yeah.
a new vehicle for intercounty at a huge cost. Well, almost, $200,000?
Well,
For one of the, like, Derek Moore,
our-
$500,000?
for a big truck.
Okay, so anyway, I can't remember what we talked about,
Yeah.
but I do remember it was extremely costly when years ago it had been about $30,000, and now after COVID, these cost of these vehicles and the wait time is
Yeah. The strategic
unbelievable.
planning that goes on behind the scenes at the co-op, really, if you don't think about it, then I guess, you don't think about it. But having to have 2 years lead time on when you're going to need a new truck and to be able to plan for that strategically, it's a very important job to
Sure.
be able to plan for those things and plan for them that far in advance. And you were talking about weather, natural disasters. You can be prepared for those,
you don't know what's going to cost.
but how do you plan for them? And we've had members ask before, well, doesn't FEMA pay you back for all of that? FEMA and SEMA, and there's some
Right, but-
money, not 100%,
and they don't pay
and not
today.
right away.
You do it first, then you submit your claim back to FEMA with the evidence of everything you've done, and then they may give you some money back, and that might be 2 years down the road.
Yeah, that's probably a pretty good guesstimate, but it is a percentage. It's not 100%.
Right.
So then that money, that's unexpected cost that the co-op then you've got to have some in reserves there to be able to
Sure.
to pay for those expenses like that. So 20 years might seem like a long time, but I promise you the money is being invested wisely. It's being spent wisely. We have an incredible board. We've got a really great group of staff, and they keep an eye on a lot of percentages that I couldn't tell you how they calculate, but they want to keep the co-op financially healthy, and member revenue, that's where it comes in. That's you are participating in that. Your electric bill helps fund all of these things and keep your lights on, and we will get it back to you.
What's your co-op?
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll keep track of it. And I know it might seem crazy to think that we have records for every single member for every single year that they had service, but we do. We keep those, and we can tell you to the penny what your portion of margins was every year. And
You probably have records that go back to the establishment of the electric on that property.
we do. Yeah.
And you can look all the way forward. And I would love to have that same bill they had in 1952.
Wouldn't that be something? You know what is the same ever since 1952, though, is the membership fee.
Yeah, nothing's
Interestingly
changed.
enough, $5 in, and it's still $5
killer.
today.
It's really
So
a killer.
deposits went up, service availability, kilowatt hour usage, of course. I mean, we understand, but the co-op has
To join
always
the co-op
kept
is still $5.
$5 in, and it's $5
A
now.
Lincoln note, just give it to them.
Yeah, pretty neat.
Hand Abe over, and I'm in.
Yeah, pretty neat.
Yeah, very good. But the good news is the capital credit checks will be leaving the office soon.
Yeah.
Or the distribution center soon. And coming to you just in time to help pay for the holidays.
Yeah, all the stuff that you got to pay for at the end of the year, right?
Taxes,
Yeah,
holiday gifts, you betcha. But it's coming at a good time.
it is. Yeah. I mean, anytime's a good time to get a check from the co-op.
It really is.
Yeah.
But
So
especially at Christmas time.
just keep in mind, mid to late December, this month.
It could
so
even be January with the way the Postal Service
I hope
goes.
not.
I hope not either.
Yeah. But be watching your mailbox if you had service with us in 05 and 06. You should have a check coming as long as we have your address. So please make sure. If you're a member currently, more than likely we have your address. But if you're listening and you live right here in town, but you used to have service with Intercounty, we need to know what your address is.
If you're getting your bill,
If you're getting your bill, we know what your address is. Yeah. But, like Stan said, maybe you had family that
Sure.
was around during those years, but they've since moved out of state or somewhere. Just give them a call and say, hey, when you get a second, call the co-op, make sure they got your address.
right. Or if you know some friends that have moved away, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
they were your friends for maybe 10, 15 years, and they moved out in 2020, and then just, hey, did you guys ever get Inventor County your address?
Yeah.
'Cause they've been sending out money. I heard it on KSMO, and who wants to give away free money? Not I.
We do. Intercounty does.
You guys are just
We wanna-
awesome.
I know. We want to send it out.
To
But,
make everybody's year a grand one.
yeah, it's their money.
It is.
Yeah.
So, again, we always remind people about the list, but please, if you want to scan it, it really is if you know of some people
Mm-hmm.
and you're not quite sure, before I call them, let me see if
If
I
they're
can
on
find
there.
their name on that list. I think, was it July that it came out? Was it
Or June.
June or July?
I think it may have been in the annual meeting month.
yeah. I
So it
think,
would have been in the June magazine.
Okay, anyway. I didn't know if it came in after the annual meeting came
Yeah.
out or not. But one of those 2 months, if you still have your Intercounty Rural Missouri, and you really should because there's some cool articles and stuff in them, but if you don't have it anymore, you can go online
Yep.
and check that out, IECA.coop.
Yep.
And again, you can go find that list. And when you look at the list, please, again, I say blow it up because it's a very, very small. High intensity glasses are usually needed.
I think
Let's
it's
put
like
it that way. Like a
size
microscope.
9 font.
It's very tiny. But just blow it up, and then you can look for the names you want, and they're all
Right.
alphabetical.
Yep, alphabetized by last name, so you can scroll through there and kind of take a look. And it's possible, there are people with the same name. And so just because you see a name on there that's your name or your friend's name, maybe it was somebody else with a similar name, but it doesn't hurt to call and check.
I did have somebody ask me why that doesn't go to unclaimed property at the end of the 2 years.
It has something to do with co-ops being
And I did not know that.
independent.
Yeah,
and
I did not know the answer.
yeah, it's something to do with co-ops being autonomous. We're independent from other organizations, and
Because
our bylaws say, hey, you got 2 years to claim it, and
Right.
then it's reabsorbed back to the co-op.
Yeah.
So
But anyway, it was really an unusual thing because like cable companies from the old days, if they had a deposit, they had to put it in unclaimed property. So
Mm-hmm.
people think cable company does it, and I think Union Electric at the time / now Ameren, they had to put it back in unclaimed property. But
Okay.
they are stockholder owned.
right,
This is your member owned. It's a
Right.
difference. It's not
Yeah.
exactly the same.
yeah. And so if it's unclaimed, actually we had a bylaw change approved this past year, so
Right.
that's changed a little bit. But used to it was just reabsorbed back in the co-op into a general fund. And this past June, our members voted to approve a bylaw that our board proposed that will allow the co-op to earmark those unclaimed funds to use for primarily youth,
Scholarships.
youth and community type
Right.
events. There's a huge need. We have some amazing communities. We really do. And there's a huge desire for the co-op to be even more involved in what's going on in our communities. We want to invest in our youth, but being member owned, our members pay the rates that we need to operate our budget.
Sure.
And so we want to be good stewards of that money. And as much as we want to invest in communities and youth, that comes at the expense of rates. And, there's a ethics thing there. Like, do we raise our rates to bring in more revenue?
Provide community service.
To provide community service and support for our youth. And what our members passed was to say, hey, when these capital credits go unclaimed, let's earmark those for community and youth. So essentially it's our members, our prior members, they're getting to reinvest in current members, which is really
That
pretty
is pretty
amazing.
cool. Yeah. And the thing is, if you just want that money to go there, you could call Intercounty
can.
and tell them.
Yeah.
Say, hey, I really don't want my check. I'll send it to Stan in case. No, I'm kidding. But you can say, hey, I wanted to go to Roundup, or I wanted to go into that
Community fund.
new youth community fund. Yes.
Yeah.
It's really a nice thing to do.
It is. I'm really excited, especially for that scholarship portion. That's not something the co-op's been able to do in the past. And for the kids that want to pursue any type of education past high school, my understanding is that this will not be specific to students that want to pursue a 4-year degree. This will be able to go for
Technical school.
Trade schools, any post-secondary education. So
I think
really
I think it's a
exciting.
great idea.
Yeah.
I thought it was a fantastic bylaw change.
Yeah.
I don't always think all the bylaw changes are fantastic, but that one I liked.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be good. We're going to see some good from this.
Because it really does a lot of good with money that, like you had said, is going to get put back into a general fund. Why not earmark it, like you said?
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea because, okay, it's not really the co-op's money.
It was the members' money.
So
we're going to give it to...
So give it back to, say, maybe some portion of the membership, their offspring,
Right.
the future of the co-op,
right
here. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I do too. I'm excited to
Whoever
kind of
came
see
up with
this
that
grow.
bylaw, and that probably was you, Heather, but whoever came up with that idea, kudos to them. That was pretty smart.
Yeah, good stuff.
Did you take credit for it? No? Did you come up with the idea?
It was...
Or was it a collaborative idea amongst the group
So
of the board?
there are a handful of other co-ops in the state that have started doing this.
Okay.
And it's worked really well for them. They had support from their membership, and they've seen the positives from it. So when that good idea fairy drops ideas,
that's all right.
then we...
There's nothing wrong with copycatting, but it's still going to be unique to Intercounty because no copycat can be that absolutely perfect. It's going to fit your situation.
Yeah. So it's good. I think it's going to be really good.
Very good.
We're going to see some cool stuff.
Well, that
from
was the good news.
It is good news.
The bad news is it's Christmas time. There's a lot of lights out there, and I saw 17 blow-ups on one property.
And it was probably beautiful.
It was beautiful, but it was 17 blow-ups. And I can't imagine the amount of extension cords and things. It was like over 3 acres. Huge. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of extension cords. That's a lot of blow-ups. And every one of those blow-ups has a nice little fan that goes on, a little
Motor.
generator, and it kicks on, and it just stays on. That can really play havoc, and especially with those extension cords, that can really play havoc, too, with your cord, especially if you lose electric due to leakage into the ground.
Yeah. So we talked about this some last month.
Yeah, we did.
But just a reminder, if you've decorated for Christmas, or if maybe you haven't yet, but you're getting ready to, just keep in mind, anytime you plug something new in, like Stan said, those inflatables, they've each got their own little motor.
They do.
And that's using electricity as long as it's running. And if it's inflated, it is running. So
That's the easy way to know.
yeah, if it's standing up, it's on. But just be mindful that anytime you plug something extra in, that's extra usage. LED lights have really helped as far as the cost for lighting
It really has.
during the holidays. But maybe you've got some of those really pretty giant old bulbs that
Well, they do make those in LED now.
they do, but I'm saying maybe I'm sure
Yeah.
there's some old ones out there. Just be mindful. of the extra usage. And if you want some help calculating what to
Sure.
expect to be on your bill, you can give us a call. We'll walk you through the math on that and give you a ballpark
Right.
of, hey, this is all you have for every hour it's on. You can expect this much extra on your bill.
Yeah. So when you replace those big bulbs, don't try and go find those old incandescent big bulbs. Go find the new LED big bulbs. They've got them colored. You can't
They do.
you really can't tell the difference. You really
Yeah.
can't. It's pretty amazing. They've done a lot of work with those to make it not be so bright as the LED. Like,
Yeah.
I can't even look that way. It's so bright. But
Yeah.
they've really done a good job of softening that hue and making that bulb look beautiful. So I mean, they really, I'll give, again, kudos to the electric bulb makers, the string makers, whoever's responsible for it, of taking the LED bulbs, which is energy saving, and changing those bulbs out. For years, even though they had LEDs out, those big bulbs, they were still energy hogs.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not all of them anymore. I know there's quite a few of them out there that are now energy savers. So
Yeah.
you might not even be able to find the other ones anymore. That
Oh, I doubt. I doubt you can buy them new anywhere.
Well,
I wouldn't
there's
think.
still spotlights and there's still floodlights and they still earn, and they're not LEDs
Yeah.
because they don't. Floodlights will not work with an LED very well. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Just too bright and it doesn't diffuse.
Yeah.
Anyway, nonetheless, we digress away from the important thing is that there is usually an uptick in your electric, but the bigger uptick in your electric usually comes after Christmas into the following months when you get to see the bill from Thanksgiving and Christmas, when the little children of the world come through your home and leave the doors wide open during the cold days. And
Yeah.
all that heat goes out the door. And all those children come in the door. And then as soon as it gets reheated again, they go back out the door, as does the heat.
Yeah. And be mindful too, as it gets colder, our heating systems, they're running more. And maybe you don't think about it. But Smart Hub, this is where Smart Hub's a really great tool. We've had some members already this year call in, and most people, I'm not saying everybody, because I don't want to put everybody in a bucket, but I think most people have turned their heat on. And you can really easily, through Smart Hub, if you go to the graphing section, you can overlay your usage, your daily usage, with the daily average temperature. And that's a really good indication of temperature-related usage. You can see when that line dips, that the weather is cold, you will see the usage bar is higher.
It's in proportion.
Yeah, they're very much correlated, and that's also a great tool in case there's something wrong that's not
Well,
heat related.
Right. We talked
So
about that
if
too.
it warms back up and there's a warmer day and you see that temperature line coming up, but the usage
It's
isn't
still
coming
elevated,
down,
yeah.
then you oh, well, maybe what else do I have on, or what else could be a problem?
Electric water heater.
Water heaters and well pumps,
pumps.
are the two biggest things that we find that might have a problem and you not realize it. And
Was it
think
you
you're
that told me last time, or was it somebody else I was talking to, that their thermostat went bad and the heat and the air were
Yeah.
on at the same time?
Yeah, we've found that a handful of times, and I don't understand HVAC enough to be able to explain how that happens, but there have been instances where both units, the heat and the air, are both running, and of course, if the air's on, then the heat's going to want to kick on.
Usually it
and
has
vice
to be in the
versa.
thermostat because you go to cool or you go to heat. And
Yeah.
if they're both on, it's sending a signal the wrong
And it's
way.
just right, and then your unit is just
Yeah.
running.
If you
running.
hear
It's
your
not
air
a very-
conditioning running in the winter, it's not supposed to.
Yeah, there's
The
something.
best
wrong.
thing to do there, though, really, in all honesty, because usually there's a breaker box outside your air conditioning unit, shut it off. Just shut it off.
Yeah.
That way, if this should ever happen, if there is maybe a little lightning strike and it can damage the thermostat, sure can, you're not going to have that issue no matter what, because no electric can go to your air conditioning unit. You turn
Yeah.
that box off. Just an idea.
Yeah. Well,
It's a good one, but just an idea. Real good one.
I would suggest you call your HVAC person.
Well, I mean, that's another
me.
thing. But if you don't know what's happening,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. I see what
You
you're
can't
saying.
just shut your box off, and then, because at this time of year, and I think Heather, you know that as well as I do, your HVAC people usually start to get busy.
They are busy.
You know, when it gets
Yes.
really cold, and that's always seems to be when the furnace goes out.
Yeah. And I think I was going to talk about this a little at the end, but kind of a good spot here. If you're having trouble with your heat, please reach out and let Enter County know. We have a program, Operation Roundup. Um,
It's
and
an incredible program.
it is. It's member funded, exactly what it sounds like, Roundup. We have members who are rounding their bill up to the next nearest dollar, and that spare change goes to a charitable fund. Talk about dollars being earmarked. That money can only be used for the foundation to provide assistance to applicants. None of that is taken out for administrative. None of it is
All of
used
it.
for anything except for assistance.
When you say all of it, you mean all of it.
100%.
Every single cent. If you round up 12 cents a year or $12 a year, every penny goes to Roundup.
It does, and it can only be used to assist these people, these families, organizations that apply for assistance. It has to be spent for those purposes. So, really great program. But we are in the time of year where you need heat on, and it's cold, and it's going to get colder. And if you don't have a permanent heat source, if you are supplementing with space heaters,
You gotta see her face.
oh. It makes me cringe, Stan.
It did
It's-
make you cringe.
yes.
She looked in the ears. She goes, if you're.
Oh, because I'm like, I don't even want to say it. But the truth is, we have members that they have to do that because they don't have a heating system, a permanent heating system in their home that's functioning properly. Please reach out and let us know because Operation Roundup is there. That's something they can do. I realize there are other assistance organizations. Maybe you're already getting help for maybe like commodities.
Sure.
You've got some food assistance.
And the
They
churches will
can't-
help with bills. They'll have,
But
but that's not going to fix the problem.
it doesn't fix your furnace. It doesn't
Yeah.
fix your heating system. Roundup is really unique in the sense that we're not limited to this is our program and we can only give you food or we can only help with your electric bill or we can only put propane in your tank.
Right.
There's the flexibility to be able to help with whatever the need is. And it's also not income based. We realize there are families that maybe do not qualify for assistance because of their income.
Right.
But we all know bad things can happen and
Usually
they
in
can
threes.
snowball. And it's not just an illness that kept one of the income earners out of work for a couple of weeks, but then it's a transmission that goes out and then the heating system goes out and maybe you were doing fine
And then the roof caves in.
and then all of a sudden you're not. And
Because that's what it feels like.
It does.
The entire roof just caved in right on top of your shoulders.
yeah, it is need based. So each application, these are not rubber stamped, they are each individually looked into. We have an incredible group of delegates.
Those
That
people are amazing.
They
I
are.
like to tip my cap to them because they are unheralded heroes.
Yes,
They really
and
are.
they volunteer their time. You know, I talked about 100% of this money goes back to the communities and to the people who apply for help. That's because the people running this program, they volunteer. They're volunteering their time. They research each and every application. One of the things on the application is a place to list references. They're going to check with those people. If they're renters, they're checking with the landlords. They're making sure there's a legitimate need, and then assistance is paid directly for or directly to whatever it is they're helping with. So they want to make sure the money's not being abused. Even after they've decided who to give it to, they're not handing cash to someone and saying, here's some rent money or here's your mortgage payment,
they
get it to
pay
the
it.
bank. They pay it. So if you're having trouble with your heat and you were coming into winter and it's just going to get colder, please reach out and let us know. Let us get you a Roundup application. let us help you with that. And chances are,
Contact an HVAC and get an idea what that's going to cost.
yeah, you can get some estimates for it and turn those in with the application. But we want to be able to help you.
Sure.
20,000 members want to be able to help you. That's why they're rounding their bill up, because they want to be able to help. They don't know how to use or can't use. I can't use that spare change to help somebody with their heating system.
No, not even 10 years worth.
No.
That can do you much.
No, but when it's put together with everybody else's, you really can make some significant changes in people's lives and their homes. So we got to know. We got to know there's a need, though.
Absolutely.
So your information will be kept confidential. The only people that see your application, we have one employee that coordinates that program. She sees the application and those delegates. It does not leave that room. Those records are kept very confidential. That's not shared with anybody. So please understand it. If you're on the edge of should I apply or not, and we realize pride is it's a real thing, and people have a hard time asking for help. Your information's not going to be shared publicly.
Trust me.
Yeah.
It's better than the worry and the concern and the stress it puts you under to try and get through those times.
Mm-hmm.
Ask for help.
Yeah.
I know. Swallow your pride. Ask for help.
Yeah.
And then once you get the help and it puts you back on your feet, and some people have actually paid it back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they actually have given the money back to, whether it be a Roundup or something, to the Roundup program. But if you want to, then after you've all said and done, and it might be 5 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to make a big donation to Roundup, they'll take it.
Yeah.
And they can help somebody else in the same predicament that you found yourself in 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So, again, it's always a great program.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when they initiated this program, I thought it was fantastic back then. I was a lot younger, but but it has grown and grown and grown and grown. And I tell you, Heather, it has done not only for heating systems that some people have needed,
Mm-hmm.
but I know it's bought tires for people who could not get around and go to work anymore because
Mm-hmm.
they actually had 2 flat tires, and it was getting flat virtually every time they took the vehicle out.
Yeah.
No matter what, that's how bald they were.
Yeah.
I've seen it get buy medications for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I had a sick child.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't afford the medications. They actually bought the medications. So it does a lot more than just heating systems. But if you have no heating system,
Yeah.
and I don't want to see Heather's face get that way again.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, it was really kind of scary.
I'm
It was
like,
funny.
"Oh."
It was kind of scary.
Yeah.
The way the eyes rolled back in the head.
I'm
and,
like, "Oh,
you know,
here we
we
go."
all know that these supplemental heating systems
Mm-hmm.
called space heaters,
Right.
they're energy suckers.
They are. And it really just puts the family not only in a home that's less safe, because there are safety hazards
Right.
with running space heaters, especially if you're asleep or not at home, but they're energy hogs and they use a lot. And if you're already in a space, in a place where you are having trouble getting the HVAC people out there because you can't afford to get your system fixed, getting an electric bill that's $100, $200, $300 more
than it should be.
than it should be because you have these space heaters plugged in, that doesn't help either.
No.
So we want to help you figure out a solution. We don't want you have to use these space heaters as a permanent, semi-permanent heat source this winter because they use a lot and they're generally unsafe.
Right. And propane space heaters, well, they have a place, but it's not inside your house. Don't use them inside your house.
Yeah.
And I've seen people do that, and that's scary. And even if you shut them off, you still got a lot of carbon monoxide inside that house. So
Yeah.
please, any kind of propane space heater, if you have one, they're not really meant to be inside a house. Outside, okay, you can get around it and warm up the hands, but I mean inside a house, please don't do that.
Yeah.
And that's it's actually looking for a real bad avenue to disaster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So give us a call. Let us know if there's something we can help you with, whether it's your heating system or something else, like Stan mentioned. Maybe there's something else that you're needing help with and you don't know where to turn to. Give us a call. Let us get you a Roundup application. They do meet the second Tuesday of every month, so they're meeting this afternoon. and they will go over all the applications that they received by the last day of November.
Right.
So the next time they meet, they'll be going over all the applications they received in December. Yeah. Yep.
Very good. It is an incredible program.
It is.
Again, big kudos to Intercounty when they first started that program, just like they're starting this other one with the bylaw change. Putting money back in the community to help people in the community.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter which community you're in. People are in need in all of their communities. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And it does stay local. That's something
Right.
we get asked a lot of times too. Like, well, I'm going to round my bill up and you're going to keep the money, but then how do I know that families in Kansas City or St. Louis, do they get the bulk of the money? No, this stays. If you were to look at a map of Intercounty service area, and we realize we serve
A big area.
around, but we serve around some city utilities. City of Salem's one of them. Rolla, Kabul, Houston. Those are, they're still our people. They're still our communities. You're still our neighbors. Take a look at Intercounty service map and kind of look at the
boundaries.
the boundaries, those outside boundaries. As long as you are within those outside boundaries, you can apply for assistance, even if you're on a city utility,
Right.
as long as you're within those outermost boundaries of the co-op.
And I'm glad you said that, because Intercounty, even though they don't provide electricity to people in Salem, even in their economic development, when they offer your loans, your CDBG loans, which can be up to $1 million, or your revolving loan fund loans that you want, you don't have to be a member
Right.
to apply. Now, there may be a more benefit for a member, like maybe 0% interest
Versus
1%
Yeah.
interest. Gosh, that's a killer. Just absolutely. Just can't believe they're
I know,
that
right?
bad. But but if you need that, their economic development department, talk to Tony Floyd, he can explain it to you, is that you're in those boundaries. You are a member of their family.
Right.
You may not be a member of the co-op, but you're a member of the Intercounty family.
Right.
Is that a good way to put it?
It is. It's a perfect way of putting it. These communities, these people within the communities, they are still our people. They're still our neighbors. They live and work and travel in Intercounty's area too. And business here in Salem helps business in the local communities. And that's something
and
that
people who live out in the county using Intercounty services
could be
work at those businesses.
Yeah, they could be employed by that business, or they're gonna go and use that business. It's family is a great way to put it. It really is. So yeah.
So yeah, get that if you need that. Please,
application. Yeah,
please ask.
absolutely.
It'd be a great Christmas gift to your family, and it can be a great Christmas gift to you. Even if you do it at the end of December, I know people say, well, Christmas will be past before I can get it. Yep. But you know what? You start the new year out, take a little bit of that stress off you. It's amazing how much better you're going to feel
Yeah.
about yourself and about the situation you're in.
And I don't think I share this enough. We have really great members. And the fact that we have 20,000 accounts that are rounding up their bill really speaks magnitudes about our membership and about their willingness to help. They have good hearts. They want to be able to help others, but you or I may not know there's a need. And we've already mentioned this. We can't, with a handful of change, make a significant change in somebody's life. But these people, they're rounding up their bills because they want the spare change to go to something good to help people in their local communities. And if somebody else can organize it and take care of it and know that there's a need and research it, then yeah, absolutely. They are more than happy to round that bill up and help in that way.
And let's take that one step further, too. Now, even if it's not affecting, even if you're not affected, you're having everything going good for you, but you have a neighbor or a friend that lives in our area, the Intercounty boundary area. Talk to them about this.
Yeah. And you can even call in and request an application, and then you can take it to them.
Right. But talk to them. Say, hey, there's a way you might be able to get help. And don't, try and be, hopefully you'll never try and belittle somebody because they get in a bad situation. Everybody goes
We
through
could all
it
be
once.
there.
Sooner or later, it seems like we all have a burden to try and cross somewhere down the road. But it doesn't make any difference. If you have a friend right now or neighbor that you know is struggling because maybe their heating system is out, maybe they've got some other problems, you know, maybe their aged parent is living with them now and all of a sudden they can't
Expenses
afford
went
the
up.
medical, whatever it might be, okay? Please talk to them and say, hey, look, there's a thing called Operation Roundup. It can help you get over the hump.
Yeah. And
One
that's what
time.
it's there
This is
for.
one time now.
Right.
You don't get to do it every month.
Yeah.
You don't get that, but you get that one-time jolt of
Hoping you get back on your feet.
here it is.
Yeah.
Now, start over again and take that pressure and that stress off your back. You don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It is. It really is.
It's incredible. We tip our cap. I tip my cap to a lot of parts of Intercounty Electric that we just don't see that much. You know, a lot of people don't think about Roundup. A lot of people are really, well, they're not aware of the scholarship program and the youth fund now for the communities. Of course, that's brand new.
It
So
is,
nobody
yeah.
really knows about that yet. But the linemen, the office personnel who never get credit for what they do, and they keep everything organized, and they're absolutely some of the most friendly people I've ever met in my life. You just go over to Intercounty, go to the Intercounty Electric office, and somebody's going to say, hey, can I help you? How can I help you? And there's always a smile on their face, and they always seem to be anxious to try and do what they can to help you. It is a pretty cool thing to have that instead of, you know, I've had to deal with people in Union Electric and Ameren and Laclede Gas and St. Louis. They're not so nice. They're more like, you're a pain in my you-know-what, get out of here. Really, that's how they treat you. Like, what do you want? I got to pay my bill. Well, here it is. Give me the money. That's not the way it is in their county. And really, because they're members just like you are. You're all the same.
Right.
They're just absolutely working for the co-op and making your life easier. So a Merry Christmas to the entire staff at Intercounty Electric
thank
from all of
you.
us at KSMO. They probably don't get enough thanks, but they really do deserve it.
I will pass that along. It was very kind of you.
Well, it's the truth. I mean, it really is. So anyway, it's at that time of year, though, everybody should feel free to and salute the people that we just don't recognize that often. They all play a part. Even the janitor that sweeps up the floor, they all play a part. Everybody.
Absolutely.
It's a team, and the team has to work as a unit. And when the team works as a unit, it's so nice to be a part of.
Yeah. That's true. So
Very
very
good.
true.
What else you want to talk about?
I want to just give a little teaser
Okay.
for next month before we wrap
Ooh.
up. After Christmas break, we will be in the schools talking about youth tour. It's one of my favorite things at the co-op to
I
get
didn't
to
know
be involved
that.
in. I know. I've never talked about it very
Very
much before.
rarely.
But it is youth tour time next month, so that's really exciting. So if you have a junior, hopefully they're in school today and they're not listening, but you can give them a heads up that next month we'll be in the schools. We'll be talking to the juniors. They're going to have an opportunity to win a trip to either Washington, D.C. or Jeff City this coming summer.
You mean the school's weather permitting?
Weather permitting,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, they'll try and get theirs. You have designated dates already for each school?
I think Vanessa started scheduling those. I think we've got maybe a couple of
Okay,
them
very
scheduled. But yeah, snow days always cause a
Yeah.
problem in January. So sometimes we're scheduled to be there and then we've got to find a different day and then find a different day. And
Well, and look, it's a 500-word essay
max.
max. I
Yeah.
mean, we're not talking 500-word minimum, 50,000-word.
Yeah.
No.
250 to 500.
Yeah, not very long. It's not that hard to do. And I know some will be AI generated, I guarantee you. No doubt in my mind, I can guarantee you that. Do you have a theme?
We do.
Do you want to give it out
Nope,
as a tease?
not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
All right, very good. Very good. One other thing I did want to bring up, there will be some closures in the office come to holiday time.
Yep. So our office actually is going to be closed on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So that's going to be Wednesday the 24th and Thursday the 25th. And then we'll be closed on New Year's Day as well. So January 1st, the
Okay,
office will be
so
closed.
the offices will be closed those 3 days upcoming.
Yep.
And so we want to make sure we pass that on before the new year kicks in, let people know that. Is there anything else that we have forgotten?
I really hate to end on this, but just
Well, you're going to talk about scams.
just a
aren't you?
reminder.
Oh my God.
It is that time of year. I say it's that time of year. Any time of year is time for scams. But right now, being Christmas time, people doing a lot of shopping online, over the phone. Your bank card numbers are being entered in lots of places.
Everywhere.
Please be mindful. Just if you don't have to give it out, don't give it out. If somebody's asking for it, make sure it's legitimate. Make sure you've initiated that call. If you're shopping online,
Make sure it has the HTTPS.
yeah, and just
Secure.
man, be vigilant and be mindful, and don't fall victim to these scams, because the scammers know now is a time of year. People are busy. People are spending more. They're giving that information, that bank account information, out more freely. And I would not be surprised one bit if our members start getting calls that say, hey, in the hustle and bustle, you must have forgot to pay your electric bill. We've got some servicemen out doing disconnects today, but we wanted to give you a heads up. So if you wanted to make your payment over the phone, we didn't have to do that.
Right.
Please do not give that out over the phone. Intercounty, we are not going to take that. A live person is not going to take your information. Call the co-op directly, hang up, call us back if you think, oh man, maybe I really did forget to pay my bill. You can hang up and call us back directly. We can look at your account, and if you did forget to pay your bill, then we'll give you that pay by phone line, and you can call and do it over the automated line. Of course, we've talked about payment methods
Sure.
before. You can always use Smart Hub or come by an office or something. But
Or you can call and charge it up to $11.59.59.
yep, on that pay by phone line. So
Yep.
my point is, guard that, especially now, especially when you're busy, when you're using it more. Keep an eye on your bank statements. If you've got online banking, keep an eye on that, because a little charge here and there maybe might go unnoticed, but it could totally throw off your budget for the month, and that's your hard-earned money.
Right, and
Don't
I've
give it
also
to a
been made
scammer.
aware of another scam that doesn't do anything with intercounty, but I'm just going to throw it out there right now because you mentioned about credit cards and things of that nature. Okay, so there's now new AI-generated websites that have nothing to do with the original ones, so they look exactly like Amazon, they look exactly like things, but they give you these incredible prices, and they say it's a one-day deal, and you got to buy it right now, and you can get a $300 piece of equipment for $15 or $25. All you have to do is enter your credit card number now and get it and buy it, and you're in good shape. That's a scam. And they're now they look exactly like it. And I was shocked.
That's,
I mean, AI is generating these websites, and it's
Wow.
really bad. So but they can't, obviously, if you go to Amazon, if you log in on Amazon or you log into the store you want to, and it's their website at Walmart.com or whatever, you're initiating that. You'll be in there. If you see one of these super specials come up in your email, don't click on it.
red flag.
It's a red flag. Go to whatever store you've been accessing it. And usually they find out what stores you're accessing it. That's why they send you these things. Go to that website and see if that deal is there. And if it's not there, it's not there.
Yeah,
It's not real.
good advice.
Don't give out that thing. And I was shocked. I actually saw that AARP
fake
is
site?
sometimes pretty good. The AARP actually sent that out, and they sent that in a notice that these AI created websites are identical.
I hadn't heard that.
You cannot, and I haven't seen one myself, but they did show a picture of one and be able to look exactly
Just
like.
like
The reason I said Amazon is because that's what it was.
The
It was
example.
Amazon. It looks exactly like it.
Yeah. Just
So,
just be mindful.
why would they be sending that to you?
Well, I'm sure they're trying to send it to
No,
as
but
many people
but
as
why
they
would
can.
they just be offering you that great deal?
Oh, I
You
gotcha.
know what I'm saying? They can't
Yeah.
send that to every single person that's bought on Amazon.
Right.
Think about it. It's got to be a reason.
Yeah. Yep. So
Anyway,
be mindful. Be safe. Hopefully everybody has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And if you need anything from the co-op at any time, please be sure you call. Reach out to us if it's not business hours and it's an emergency. We do have a
Sure.
dispatcher 24/7, even through the holidays. So don't think that If your power's out, you got to sit there and wait till the office reopens.
That'd be
Please
wicked.
don't do that. But absolutely, give us a call anytime you have any questions or concerns or ideas even. Give us a call and chat with us or swing by one of our offices. We've got one in Rolla, Licking, and Mountain Grove, and you can pop in and visit with us.
We won't see you again until next year.
I know. Be a whole year.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
It's crazy. But if you have any questions, and we did mention about the obviously some things you can do that Intercounty offers, and that is in the form of small business loans and things that can help out small businesses. If you're interested in that, economic development they help with too. Talk with Tony Floyd. You can get a hold of him. And he said that this past year was probably the worst year they had for loans. Only had a couple. So if you are a small business, you really can't beat 1% if you're in town, and you really can't beat 0% if you're just out into inter-county member territory. So I'd think a little about that. If you're needing to expand your business, and it's going to be a little bit more money, like $1 million. That's a little bit more money. You do have to go through a CDBG grant. It is possible to get that money through
It is.
Intercounty at a very low interest rate, but that will take some time. That's usually done on a quarterly basis, and it may take as much as 4 to 6 months
Yeah.
to get all that done, because they have to go through the government, they got to apply for it,
Right.
they got to come back, and then it's a
Yeah.
little bit different. So anyhow, just throwing that out there. I know our friends in Intercounty do a tremendous job, but that's just another service that they offer that we don't talk too much about.
Yeah. Yep, you're right.
And maybe we should talk a little bit more about it, because it really is a benefit to our area, what they can do to help you expand your business, grow your business, or maybe come up with that necessary new purchase of a piece of equipment that you just have to continue.
Yeah. Yep.
And you can spread it
there's-
out over 10 years, and it doesn't hurt that
Yeah.
bad.
There's a lot of things that the co-op
Does.
can help with
Yeah.
that we do that is not just providing
We needed to make a
Power.
list and check it twice.
programs and services.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, I mean, and well, you brought up you're going to be in the schools. You guys present all the time to groups and organizations and in the schools about inter-county electric safety. And at this time of year, that can be a big thing with ice storms.
Yep,
Watch out for
absolutely.
down lines. We didn't even talk about that, and hopefully knock on whatever wood I can find.
Right. We don't have to.
No ice storms, no
Yeah.
down lines, no down power poles, nobody out of electricity. Wouldn't
Yeah.
that be wonderful?
Yeah,
That'd be a great
absolutely.
holiday gift.
It would. Yeah.
Maybe it'd be a great winter gift if we had that.
All winter long.
All winter long. Wouldn't that be a super sweet gift?
You know what would be even sweeter?
Free
If-
electric?
If winter just turned into spring and we just.
Well, okay. You're really
I mean,
pushing-
if we're dreaming here, right?
Well, I know we're pushing.
It could be like, oh, winter was
we
nice.
didn't have a terrible winter last year. Really was pretty mild, to be honest with you. Just had a couple little storms.
Yeah.
Just like 1 week in January was really bad, but
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the cold or the
well,
dark.
I know you're not
Yeah.
a fan of the cold, but
I know.
you're in Missouri, so you
I'm in the wrong state, right?
and it used to be a lot colder. So
Yeah,
you
it
know,
did.
It did. Used to have a lot more snow and things of that nature.
Yeah.
That's why I love watching some of these movies. We're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and they're showing all the snow. I'm like, get real, dude. Hasn't probably snowed there in 3 years. And if they did get it, it came and was gone the next day when the
Yeah,
sun came
didn't
out.
stick
So
to the
yeah,
ground.
I just have to laugh at some of that stuff. Like, yeah, well, that maybe 30 years ago. Not anymore. Heather, as always, thank you for coming by,
Yeah,
spending some time
absolutely.
with
Thank
us.
you.
And again, don't forget the inter-county offices will be closed Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Day.
Yes.
Nobody will be there. Well, no, emergency services will be
Right.
there, but nobody will be in the office those days. Enjoying time with their family and friends.
Yeah. And
Just like
hopefully
you will
everybody.
be, I hope.
Yeah.
I hope we have the chance
Yeah.
to do that again. Are you going to be doing traveling on Christmas? Or?
Not too far,
Okay.
just local.
Okay,
So,
keeping it local.
Yep.
There you go. Very
Yep.
good. All right. Well, we wish you the very best Christmas holiday and a
And you
happy
too.
New Year to
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
And please do pass on to the inter-county staff all of our merriest wishes to them for the holiday season. Because, and again, remember, all those people that do a great job for you do it behind the scenes. They don't ask for recognition. They don't strive for it. They're not looking for your approval. They're not. That's not what they do. They do their job. They do it well. And a tip of our cap to them
Well,
as well.
thank you.
Very, very good job. Heather, You have a fantastic holiday season, and we'll see you next year.
Next year.
That's right here on KSMO Radio, 1340 AM, 95.7 FM. And we hope you can also check it out online at KSMOradio.com, KSMO Stream Facebook, and KSMO YouTube. If you missed one of our interviews with Heather or other inter-county representatives, we have had Vanessa over. We have had Tony in at times, and et cetera. So if you want to catch those, we do have them in our backlog on our YouTube page. You can go back and go all the way back to January of last year and find out what we talked about. And I guarantee you it had youth tour in it.
I promise you it had youth tour in it.
Probably had about a half hour of youth tour in it.
Yep.
But nonetheless, we do want to be informed, and a lot of times there's some pretty good tips that we put out. And occasionally we have a suggestion or two that doesn't get acted on, but we try anyway with our friends in Intercounty. So again, have everybody out there have a very happy and safe holiday season, courtesy of Intercounty. All right, keep it here.